Hi and welcome to my workshop. My name is Tomasz and you're watching Casual DIY. Today we'll be unboxing this bad boy from Evolution, the F210SMS sliding mitre saw. Stay tuned. Just a quick disclaimer guys before we actually continue. I just want to let you know that I have received this saw from Evolution Power Tools UK free of charge for me to use it, test it out, use it in my projects. Obviously there's no obligations. They didn't say to me that I have to say A, B or C about this product, so it's their risk. If the product is bad, I'll make sure that you actually know about it. So don't be worried, my review or my thoughts about this machine will not be biased at all. So let's crack on with it and see what's inside of the box. Let's check it out. So then, as to no surprise, we actually got the manual and an Allen key. We've got the blade, which is 210mm. It's the multi-blade, so that will actually cut through wood and metal. Very cool feature. Then we've got some screws, knobs and bits and pieces. We'll see how it all fits in a minute. The sliding bar. The plastic wings. The standard clamp, the head of the saw, and obviously the base. And it's time for the assembly of the machine. And now it's time to install the blade. It's very simple as well. We press the stop button here, which stops the mechanism, and then we'll unscrew the bolt that will be securing the blade. And the whole assembly is finished. As you can see, it's a fairly easy process. Right then, so a couple of features about F210SMS from Evolution. Obviously it's a sliding compound mitre saw. The cross cuts, you can go 230mm length and 65mm depth. Mitre cuts 150mm by 65mm. Bevel cuts 230mm by 38mm, and compound cuts 150mm with a depth of 38. The saw comes with a laser that always helps with improving the accuracy of your cuts. You can actually go right up to 50 degrees angle cuts both sides. The bevel cuts obviously gonna go from 0 degrees to 45 degrees. And the handle seems to be quite good for either left or right handed. The saw comes with a 2 meter power cable and it's 1200 watts. Also, the saw comes with free warranty, which is quite good. So we're talking about the features of this saw. We've put it together, obviously seen what's inside of the box, but now it's time to actually set it up to make sure we get correct and straight cuts. So obviously you've got a couple of things that we need to look at. If the fence is square to the blade square to the base of the saw, and obviously we'll try out the laser if that is set up correctly, and then the bevel cuts as well. So let's check it out. So the first thing we're going to try to set up is actually how square the blade is to the base. So what we're going to do, place it right down. We've got a locking pin at the back so the head will not go up. I'm going to lock the position of the saw like so. And to check how square that is, I'm actually going to use one of these gadgets. It will tell me basically what is the angle currently on the blade, and if it needs adjusting, it would actually show me in real life what are the angles. So we've got the base is at 0 degrees, and now we'll see what's the angle of the blade. And as you can see, it's 89.2. Obviously we need to get to 90. To get the blade square to the base, what we need to do, we need to release the lever that's located at the back of the machine here. That will allow us to do the bevel movement here. And there's a little bolt here that will retain the 90 degrees for us. Obviously we need to undo it at this moment because it's not square. And I will be adjusting it until I get perfect 90 degrees. And there we go, perfect 90 degrees. I'm gonna lock the handle behind the machine and obviously take the bolt up to the correct position. So let's check it out. And it actually dropped in the very last end to 89.9 degrees. I think for a budget tool, that's pretty damn good. The next thing we need to set up is actually how square the blade is to the fence. Obviously that's absolutely crucial to make straight cuts. Both of the fences from each side comes with some bolts inside. When you undo the bolts, you can actually shift the fences to the correct position. But let's lose a square and see how accurate it is now. And that's absolutely perfect from the left side. And it's spot on the other side as well. The bolts I mentioned are just over here. This saw also comes with a very interesting feature. Basically you can set up the depth of your cuts. If you release that lever here, you got a stop block there. Basically you set up to the correct depth you would like the machine to cut, and that bolt will step on that plate here. So as you've seen, putting this all together and setting it up so you get accurate cuts is actually not that hard at all. I think all the Evolution tools do have quite a lot of ability and accessibility for you to set them up correctly and accurately, you know, so you don't have any issues going forward. So it's time for a bit of testing. Let's have a look how it actually performs. To start with, we'll try out a 2x4. Next, a piece of OSB. Next one will be a little bit more difficult. It's a scaffolding board with some nails. Obviously it's a multi-blade and that shouldn't be a problem at all. Let's check it out. Let's try something a bit thicker. And now it's time for a bit of metal. I've got this steel beam. Let's have a look how it's gonna cope with that. Not even hot. 45-degree cuts. .45-degree bevel cut. And there you go, guys, a few tests for you to see how this saw performs. Obviously it's a brand new blade, and as you can see it does absolutely spot on. No issues whatsoever. The quality of the cut, the tear out is absolutely bare minimum. And obviously it's a multi-blade, so you can cut through metal and wood, which is always a cool feature to have on a job, especially when you somewhere out there. It's lightweight, easy to carry, and obviously it will do few more jobs than unusual sliding or even a normal chop saw, thanks to the multi-blade. Obviously there is a disadvantage to it, because this saw, to be able to run with this multi-blade, the RPMs are lower than a normal saw. Hence you probably won't be able to use any other blades than the Evolution blades that are actually designed for this particular saw and for the RPMs. But you actually can get a dedicated blade for wood only, for all the Evolution tools, and the results are fairly decent. I've actually done some comparison on all the Evolution blades, the multi-blade, the wood blade, and obviously the diamond blade as well. I'll leave a link up above if you want to see my tests on all three blades. So for a budget saw, it's actually a quite good deal. You're getting your laser, it can cut up to 50 degrees on each side, and the build quality is fairly decent. The material seems to be quite good and robust, and there's not a lot I can actually say bad about this saw, apart from the dust collection. Obviously, as you've seen, I had the vac switched on at all the cuts, but there's still quite a lot of dust generated. But thinking about it, actually I think not many saws will actually be able to get rid of the saw does in a really efficient way. Probably Festool, maybe Bosch or Makita have got some better solutions, but then you actually are paying a lot more money for it. So for a budget saw, I think it's a very good deal. So who is this saw for? Any DIYer. I think any DIYer will be more than happy with this tool. Obviously the professionals and the professional carpenters, that probably will not do the job. You're probably gonna have to look at the upper range. It all depends what you do, really. I think it's actually a perfect saw for on-site builds as well. The ability to cut through metal and wood is actually quite helpful. Anybody that actually works with reclaimed timber or even pallet wood, thanks to the blade you can cut through metal and wood at the same time. So that's quite handy, because sometimes you can actually destroy your blade on a hidden nail that you didn't see before, and you know, that's a blade that could be worth 30-40 British pounds down the drain, really. But with this machine, it's not a problem. Well then guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It was informative and help you to make a decision about this saw, or help you to actually set your saw up correctly so you can have accurate cuts. If it did, drop me that like button down below. If you've got any comments about this saw or anything else, drop me a comment down below, and I hope to see you next week on my next woodworking adventure. Till then, take care.